But I want to encourage those wow listeners who have tuned in on tonight that I want to get you to an opportunity to get paid what you weigh. You know the old saying, pay me what you weigh. And so I want to encourage you on tonight that if you find that your work is valued higher than your compensation, now we have to take into consideration our experience and our expertise.
Right.
That we want to be able to be sure that we can illustrate our impact. And so when you think about it biblically, Romans 4:4 tells us, now when a man works, his wages are not credited to him as a gift, but as an obligation. So therefore, the work that we do is not a gift where we don't get paid. We are the gift. Therefore, what we use is giving into the company, giving into the employees, the staff, giving into those that we work with. However, the work that we do, we are to be compensated rightly. We are to be compensated in a manner in which produces the results based on the hand of the work we've given. So tonight what I want to say is that not only am I talking to the general population, men and women, I want to specifically show women on tonight that although men typically earn about 80% on every dollar more than women, you see, we typically always ask at the same time or frequency, okay, for a raise. So I don't want people to think because historically women have made less on a dollar than men that women don't ask for a raise, because that is not true. Statistics show us, Jermaine, that women and men ask at the same rate. However, women typically receive it less often. So on tonight, I want to talk to both of you all the WOW listeners, on a critical approach to take to have that negotiation type conversation. So it's critical to have a clear assessment of your situation. So if you think about it, WOW listeners, Jermaine, here's the deal. Most often, the biggest mistake that we all make, I've been there, and I'm sure you have, and many of our WOW listeners, and especially women, when planning to negotiate our salary, there's two things that we lack. We lack preparation, and we lack the belief. Because many of us fail to communicate our value. Rather, we begin to discuss our feelings. And so we go into the negotiation room and we start talking about, we feel that we should get an increase. And we think that we should get it based on, how we feel and the workload pressure. But see, when we don't prepare the facts of what we've contributed and how we've contributed, then we end up without the win. And so I want to encourage you all on tonight to do a couple of things. One, you have to redefine your belief. When you have systematic low expectations, systematically you have low expectations, you don't believe that you're going to get it, then you get systematically low outcomes.
Right.
So I want us to remember that our expectation drives our belief. It drives our behavior, and that produces the results. So the practical things on tonight, Jermaine, is number one, WOW listeners, do your research.
Right.
See, don't go into the conversation blindly. Make a case based on what other people in that position are getting paid. And here's the deal, especially for the women, because we know these are facts. Typically, women earn less than men, and that's okay. You just need to do your research based on the industry and not the gender. You need to do your research based on the geographic region. You need to go on to salary.com, glassdoor.com. See, I'm spitting knowledge on tonight that's going to take you to the next level in your thinking, not just in your pocketbook. So you want to do your research. Then you want to not be so emotional or take it personal. And I do know this. I know that, when you start talking about people's money, Jermaine, that it is a touchy subject. It's pretty personal. So it's kind of like, what you mean don't take it personal? Here is the deal. Your emotion will not win your case. And because money is such an uncomfortable topic for most people, leaving out the extreme emotion is critical. It's mission critical to your success. So you want to discuss your impact. That's number 3, and your increase.
Right.
If you're out there, wild listeners, what impact has your performance had on the overall department? Has it had on the overall company? You see, when you take a look at the work you do, your job description evolves over time. So that means other projects are going to come your way. But you need to take the projects, Jermaine, that you can have impact to the company, impact to the bottom line, which is, did you save the company some money, or did you cause them to make some money?
Right.
You see, so I want to just kind of paint a picture of, do your research. Don't take it, get emotional. Don't take it personal, but also discuss your impact and your increase. You see, one thing I want to tell us, Jermaine, is sometimes as believers, we think that, contentment means complacency, and that's not true.
Right.
Because I want us to not be afraid to ask. You have not, ladies and gentlemen, because you ask not. So before we leave on tonight, I know this was a serious topic because money is a serious thing, but I want us to always remember, no matter if we feel that we're making enough or not, as believers, we're called to Luke 16:10. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much.
Right.
And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So I'll encourage you to check your salary range. They can never pay you your worth. And that's where we get it mixed up, Jermaine. We start thinking that people are going to pay us what we're worth. You are invaluable. So therefore, the work that your hands do, the work that your heart do, you can never be paid for your worth. Christ already took care of that. But you can, according to Romans 4:4, be paid the wages for the work that you do. That's all I have for Winning on Wednesday with Dr. Kimberly Ellison. I hope that you've been enlightened, but also educated and received some empowerment to go and take a look at your salary range. Is it your wages or your work?
All right. Absolutely. We have Dr. Kim.